Welcome to the RockerPod Recap show for the second day of Four Continents. And I can't stop smiling because that was, you talk about Four Continents as one of those things that's like, oh, sometimes it's like a consolation prize for skaters who don't make it to the. Sometimes it's like, well, not everybody's there, and is it really is it really a top tier competition? All of that sort of stuff. And you watch what just happened here, and you watch Yuna Aoki skate the two programs of her life. I, I'm speechless, and I'm a little emotional because it's these moments that make figure skating so special and sports in general, right? It's these feats of grandeur and amazement that's so much of why we come back over and over and over again to watch this freaking sport, because sometimes you just get this. Sometimes you just get the excitement and the amazement and the amazing, incredible stories of resilience and so forth. It's amazing. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, the women's free skate just finished, and the champion is not a skater who is going to the Olympics. It is a skater who has been beloved by the sport, by the fans, by everybody, has never been the most consistent, and but has now put down two competitions where she has won over everybody. Yuna Aoki is your Four Continents champion, and she leads a Japanese sweep of the medals, and it's Yuna Aoki with a two something 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 something, because I can't even remember, 2:17:39, and beats Amina Kai by a point and a half, 2:15:78, and Onachiba finishes third with a 2:02:23. Brady Cannell fourth, 1:99:37. There was some really good skating today from the women, and it culminated with this last group that had so many stories in it, right? Bree Tennell could very well be her final performance of her career. Um, Puts down once again, kind of like what happened at U.S. Nationals, like one of her best programs of recent memory, and finishes fourth. Dare I say she should have finished third? It was, she was great, and Monet Chiba once again was tentative. Um, it wasn't quite like the short. The short was like the first half was freer, and the second half got tight. It kind of got freer again. The free skate was the first half was tight, and the second half was freer. But there were so many tight jumps, and for Monet Chiba, she came in here really wanting this experience to be one that sort of cleanses a bit what she's had the last couple of seasons, or last couple of months, going into the Olympics. And instead, the narrative is a little bit different now, where this is the third competition in a row where she's come in nervous and tight. And Michelle and I have talked about this on the podcast. She's one of those people who, when she is nervous, you see it right in her face, and it was very evident today as well. Um, Once again, issues with the loop and the sow. The sow wasn't rotated at all. Stepped out of it. The loop had a cue on it. Both were tight. And then usually what happens is she has those tight jumps, and then the second half gets better because those are the jumps that she knows how to do. And the lutz and the flip in the second half were off, and everything was just she had to hold on to something to fight for stuff, and there was a bunch of unders that were called, and it just kept eating away at her score, and so she finishes third, um, and this is sort of where she is going into the Olympics, and you have to wonder what kinds of adjustments they're going to make because at this point, it's not about whether Mode Chiba is able to do these jumps or these programs. It is about whether or not she can not think about what happened over the last couple of competitions with her, especially her free skate. That just hasn't been what she's wanted to do. And then Aoki skated, and at nationals, at Japan nationals, she skated a clean free skate, and we were all like, "Wow, this is like the thing. This is what you know a lot of us, skating fans and her dreams are made of, right? Like she skated a clean La La Land, which it's one of the great programs of this Olympic cycle, and she just delivers it so well. But this whole season has been a struggle for her, just putting down clean, solid, consistent skating, and it was one of the reasons why going as Japan national, she wasn't really on the radar for the Olympic team. I mean, Japan, like the U.S. and like many others, uses a comprehensive look at the season in order to pick their Olympic team. And if I'm being honest, even if Yuna Aoki would have been third amongst the senior eligible skaters, I don't know if they would have put her on the team over Mone Chiba or anybody else, right? I think that would have been interesting and also controversial, but that none of that happened, and that was that. But she got a four continent spot out of that, and she made the most out of this four continent spot. And we remember a few years ago when she was at what was it, Challenge Cup, I think it was, where she skated lights out and beat Kaori Sakamoto. We were like, Yuna Aoki, where are you? Why are you, whatever? And then she decided, okay, there's something there. I'm not going to retire yet. And then she gave it one more season. And then she gave it one more season. And now it's like again, is this it for Yuna Aoki? Is this potentially her final competition? I know she's alternate for world, but um, you know, where do you go with that? Yeah, thank you to Johannes in the chat. Yeah, Yuna Aoki's free skate was not clean at Japan Nationals. There was a double footed and under rotated triple flip, and this was cleaner. So yeah, I mean, doesn't matter because the thing that I felt from Japan Nationals was this amazing skate, and we got another one, and it was even better than that amazing skate at Japan Nationals. Whew. Yeah, Yuna Aoki. I'm gonna try to get her on the podcast. I've been trying to, and at Japan Nationals, we were talking about it and never finished talking about it. So I'm gonna try to get her on the podcast. Um, you know, we'll see if she continues skating. She hasn't said anything about retirement, um, and what this was interestingly all about was there was no surprise really that if she put down two clean skates that she would be in this position. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows how good she is. Um, and thank goodness the judges are giving her the components that she deserves because it like that program is again one of the programs of this Olympic cycle, and she did it so well here. So so happy to have seen it. But when she finished, the door wasn't closed, right? You've got a triple axel coming up from Amina Kai, who, uh, at her best can be 150 in the free skate. And so she goes out, falls on a triple axel, still has a chance to stay ahead because one, she was ahead in the short program, and then two, she still had seven more triples that she had to do. And she went and did all of them. And when the scores were coming up, they were going to be good enough for her to win the title over Yuna Aoki. But we knew that there were going to be calls, and there were two calls. There was a call on the flip, which was an edge call on the flip, or an unclear edge call on the flip, and then there was a cue that was on the triple loop that I saw in real time, and that was not a surprise that got called. And so when she got off the ice, I was kind of like, that score is going to come down at least 3 or 4 points, and it did. I think it came down to like 5 points because of those, and because they leveled down one of her spins. So there were a couple of things there, and also because the judges gave Yuna Aoki the deserved PCS, she was able to stay ahead. So that was that. Amina Kai gets the silver, and she goes in. There was nothing disastrous about this skate. It was a good prep skate for the Olympics. You don't want to leave it all on the table at four continents, and so I think this was actually a very good springboard for her going into her first Olympics as a medal favorite. So that's that. I mean, I was looking at the scores, and Yuna Aoki's score is now number 5 in the ISU season best scores of this season. And out of those 5, Mao Shimada is one of them. So if you take out the junior score there, she's actually the 4th highest season best score of the year of the season, and right above Monechiba's score at Skate Canada. So, oh, what an amazing skate! Earlier in the day, we had the free dance, and again, as expected, well, maybe not again as expected, but as expected, we had an American sweep. Zingis Kolesnik goes into the Olympics as the 4 champion, 202.86. Green Parsons had a couple of slight little things here and there that kept them from staying close with Zingis Kolesnik after the rhythm dance, where they were actually, like a point and a half away from each other. But gets the silver, 194.72. Una Brown, Gage Brown brings that Godfather free dance and actually finishes second in the free dance and gets the bronze, 190.78. Fabri Iyer, fourth, 183.49. Harris Chan, 177.08. And then Livin Kwan actually had a very good free dance that was fourth in the free dance, but they couldn't really make up the difference and finished sixth. It was a great, I think Zingis Kolesnik came in wanting the extra experience, wanting the extra, just credit, if you will, of having this really being their breakthrough season and wanting another rep before going to the Olympics. And there you go. They got what they wanted, which is the four continents title going into the Olympics. And they are very much in the mix for the top 10, top 8, maybe an outside shot for top 6. But it's going to be a very competitive field over there. Probably a very outside shot for top 6, but definitely in the mix for top 10 and top 8 at the Olympics. That's all in my brain right now. Got to do all the calculations, but that's where it is. All right. Well, I am somehow surprisingly fresh right now because I actually got some sleep overnight. Um, so that was day two of the His championships. We got, weirdly enough, we're done with women, we're done with pairs, or sorry, we're done with women, we're done with dance, and now the men are going to start tomorrow. This feels very much like a U.S. national schedule, but the men will start tomorrow slash later today for those of you in North America time with their short program, and then the pairs free skate will follow that. And then Sunday will be the men's free skate to finish us off at four continents. And then the Olympics will happen. I'm not even going to think about that right now. Speaking of Olympics, just another plug for the rocker skating pins. Go to rockerskating.com/pins. If you want pins to be shipped to you before I head over to Milan, get them this weekend because I will put them in the mail before I leave. And yeah, I will have I will have a heated rivalry version of the rocker pin, because that's what folks wanted, and also I wanted it. But they won't be available until March, unfortunately. But those will be also available for pre-sale very soon. I got to get all the logistics together. But thank you all for your support. Those of you who've been able to um, get the pins, contribute, all of that sort of stuff. If you can, amazing. Thank you. None of this is cheap. The Olympics isn't cheap, and that's kind of how it goes. But for those of you who can't support, thank you for following. I mean, I can't do this without you. So we'll talk to you again tomorrow, and it'll be the men's short and the pairs free skate tomorrow. Bye.